Unlock the ZX-4RR. Here in America, this bike comes a bit neutered. Its balls are taken out of it at the top end. Instead of making about 75 horsepower to the wheel, it makes 55 horsepower to the wheel. In other markets, you go to Britain, you go to Australia, you go to Japan, if this bike's available in Japan, I don't know, I'm assuming it is. Anyways, in any other market other than North America, this bike has about 75 horsepower to the wheel. Should you be spending the money to get the extra 20 horsepower here? It costs about $300 in the United States. There are lots of tuners that do it. You send your ECU in and you get it flashed, 300 bucks, 20 extra horsepower. Is it worth your time? Is it worth your money to do that? Today, we're gonna tackle that discussion. Some people will keep it stock, the ECU stock, and here's the thing. That's stock in town. And it's plenty enough fast. There's a Cybertruck. It's plenty enough fast in town, I would say. 55 horsepower for city driving. Heck, I've been reviewing an STL 500 from Honda. It's a twin. It makes around 43 horsepower. I say that's enough for driving in town. But if you're taking this on the highway, which we're going to do, and actually it's going to be my first time on the highway with this bike today. But if you plan on taking it on the highway, doing lots of commuting at higher speeds, then it might be definitely a no-brainer in that situation. Okay, thank you. He's finally getting over. And here's the amazing thing about this inline 4. It's stock ECU, and it still sounds incredible, even without the ECU flash. You don't have to go full throttle. You don't have to go fast to enjoy the soundtrack of this. Now, I got that Kaufman slip-in exhaust on here, and it is, well, I took the baffle out. It is obnoxiously loud. I might have to put the baffle back in. It is so loud. But hey, loud pipes save lives. So like, I enjoy listening to it. It's just like, man, I don't know if I can get better earplugs than the ones I already have, you know? And this thing, even just low throttle here, going mid-50s, it's loud, but I'm sure it sounds great. I'm sure it sounds great over the internet, but you guys don't have to deal with the sound or the sheer volume. But I can always put the baffle back in if I decide to. But man, is it just very enjoyable to listen to. But I would say if you're riding in town, you don't need to get the flash. But the thing is, I got this bike to do everything. This is not a one-trick pony city bike. If I really just want to ride in town, I got my Grom for that, you know? My Grom is just, that bike's just so much fun. So is this. Both of them make me feel like a little kid. They both feel like toys to me, the ZX-4RR as well as the Honda Grom. And I got the Honda Grom flashed. I spent, I want to say it's like 150 to 200 bucks flashing the Grom. Heck, honestly, I don't know if that was worth it. I didn't notice any differences with the flash. You're only working with like 100, you're only working with like 9 or 10 horsepower on the Grom, even if it's modified. My old neighborhood here. I used to ride my Ninja 250 in this neighborhood when I first started riding. Good old days. I mean, honestly, to me, getting the flash is a no-brainer because heck, the pipe on this was 300 bucks. The flash is about 300 bucks. It's so cheap to get a flash on here. Where else in the world, I mean, assuming you don't get this bike in other markets, but where else in the United States are you able to spend 300 bucks on a motorcycle modification and get 20 more horsepower in regard? There's another Cybertruck. What the hell's going on? So what's 20? So you're getting like what, 50% more horsepower? If my basic monkey math in my head right now is horsepower for 300 bucks, if you get the ECU flash on here. Now, who should you be going with? Well, do your research. I mean, there's so many good flashers out there. Moore's Mafia, Two Wheel Dyno Works, I think that's what they're called. TST. I got a lot of TST parts on here, by the way. I'm going with V-Cycle Nut David. Great customer service. He's really quick with the emails. He's just a one guy doing it by himself. Most of his writing he tunes, or most of the flashes he tunes for city riding, but he also tracks the ZX-4RR. I also considered him with my previous bike, the MT-09. The irony is that I don't know how many bikes he has, but those are his two bikes that he features the most for ECU flashing, which is just funny because those are the two bikes that I decided to purchase first as my big boy bikes, even though this is low displacement. You guys saw how fast I got up to 80 plus miles an hour there. It's no joke. This bike is fast, and it's fun to wring its neck all the way up to an extent, because at about 10 to 11,000 RPM, the power just falls off a cliff, and to me, the bike isn't able to be itself. Go. As you guys saw that on-ramp, I mean, I'm held up by a nasty diesel dump truck up there. I have no problem staying up to speed with these vehicles, okay? And no, I don't have the torque here, and it would be nice to have that extra reserve power on the highway. I just put this MRA screen on here, which now in a tuck it actually feels quite good. But yeah, no problem. Even without the flash, maintaining highway speeds, and it's just got so much more to go with the 55 horsepower variant. Okay, no problem. I'm having to crank my neck really hard though. It's because I'm a little bit too big for this bike, you could say. This is based off the ZX-4RR in other markets. And so if I was maybe 5'5" in a tuck, it would probably be more comfortable. But even then, this is so much more comfortable than my MT-09. If I sit back a little bit, it's still a lot more comfortable than my MT-09, that's for sure. Yeah, it's good on the highway stock. It's incredible. I had no problems, guys, no problems. Here's the thing. The bike feels like it's jogging when it gets into the upper RPMs. It feels like it has so much more to give, and it's just not able to do it. So I want to experience the fullness of this bike. And when you pay so much money for it, $10,000, and it doesn't have that true character and its true nature, it's locked behind a cage, I gotta unleash it. Okay, even though it can be a great city bike, it can be a great highway bike, in its stock 55 horsepower form, it's just not the nature of this bike to be crimped like that. So we are going to send this in to David, V-Cycle Nut, and we're gonna get this thing unlocked. And will it be more fun? Yeah, probably. Will I need to utilize that full 70? Oh, we got it. We got that red arrow here. Am I going to absolutely need it? No, but I want it. That's a thing. That's a that's the motorcycle thing. Everyone knows motorcycling. Motorcycling is not a need, but a want, at least in our country. It makes very little sense here pragmatically, to own a motorcycle. It's all about the feels that it gives you, all about the experience, and not about a means to get from one point to the other, even though it can be. It can be. It's just there are more safe and more affordable ways to do it. So I'm going to get that flash. Let me know down below, would you be getting the flash on the ZX-4RR? Guys, all you have to do is take apart your bike a little bit. It doesn't void your warranty. In theory it could, but you could always get it flashed back to stock ECU. And how would Kawasaki know? I don't think they would know. I have a 5-year warranty on this bike and I'm not worried one bit about the flash harming its reliability. Obviously, because this bike is designed to be able to handle that 75 horsepower from the factory. It just isn't allowed to in the United States. Why? Because of sound laws in California and emission laws. Mainly sound laws. I think in emissions wise it's fine. It's probably largely due to sound laws in California. But that was one of the big reasons I got this bike. It just sounds so good. No matter what you're doing, even in stock form without the pipe, it sounded pretty good. But you can get a cheap, even a cheap freaking Chinese pipe, put it on here and it still sounds good. And even, here's the thing that's kind of exciting to me. I don't have to rev this past 10,000 RPM to enjoy the exhaust note on here. I don't have to do it. I can just keep it at, keep it under 10,000 RPM and it still sounds amazing. And in fact, in some ways, I don't know if it's because it's the pipe on this bike, this Kaufman Shorty. I don't know because it's just because the physical nature of it. I feel like the sound isn't quite as crisp or as pleasing at the highest RPMs compared to, let's say, I don't know, wailing on it from 4 to 10,000 RPM. Still sounds pretty damn good above 10,000 RPM though. Here's some of the few twisty roads that we have in Florida. It's not even that twisty. It gets much twistier north of here. Oh, but man. If you guys remember my previous videos, I said I am in no hurry to get this bike flashed. I haven't even had it a month. Why am I getting it flashed already? Well, actually, I'm not in a hurry. I just figured, here's the thing. I'm going to Japan for a week starting Sunday, and if I can get my ECU shipped out and shipped back while I'm in Japan, then I'll have no technical downtime on the bike. So to me, it's just a perfect window of opportunity for me to flash the bike. All right, since I can't ride it anyways, might as well get that process taken care of instead of being grounded while I'm at home, if that makes sense. So for a lot of you guys in other places like that have winter, yeah, maybe you get your ECU flashed and do lots of upgrades during the winter time. That gives you some personal time with the bike to be able to do that, but also, I mean, you're not taking any of your precious riding days out of the calendar to get your ECU flashed. So, I mean, that's my recommendation during the off season or when you're out of town, send in your ECU, get it flashed so you don't have to worry about missing out on riding your prized possession. I love that when you see when you see these huge modded out trucks pulling a wave runner, and like that's something a Corolla could do. Just put a pitch receiver on the back of the, don't recommend it, but you could easily pull a jet ski with not a heavy duty vehicle. So that always gets me. You get people buy the biggest, heaviest, most modded out things to not ever use them anywhere to the capacity. And that's why, a big reason why I got the ZX-4RR, right? I can use the heck out of this thing and how I like to ride, instead of being like the MT-09. I just couldn't tap into its power, you know, on a usable basis, without instantly breaking the speed limit, without instantly putting myself or others at risk. Like that bike, you got to be careful when you tap into that throttle, let alone like a full-on leader bike with 200 horsepower. That's just crazy to me. But here is the ZX-4RR, a tool you can maximize for the streets and for highway use, and never be too well, you can be plenty reckless, but it's much harder to get into trouble quickly with a bike like this. I'll see you guys on the other side of this reflash, and make sure you subscribe, because once I have it flashed with the extra horsepower and the extra, just the rideability is going to be better, overall the feeling will be better. Once I get it flashed, I can't wait to share my impressions, and I'm sure I'll gush over it. Like, I already love this bike, I just want to experience the fullness of this bike. And you can't do that in America without a flash. So let me know which flash you think is best if you have this bike, or if you've got your other bikes flashed by other, I don't know, aftermarket companies. Let me know what your experience has been in the past. I'll catch you guys down in the comments. And if you're enjoying the video, smash that like button, and be safe out there. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.